Stop. If you're considering installing a solar or battery storage system for your home, then you need to avoid this common mistake. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you about the corners that contractors will cut to earn your business and leave you holding the bill. The smarter way to go solar. All right, now in today's video, we're going to be talking about the #1 mistake to avoid when going solar, and it really all comes down to hiring the wrong contractor. Now, I'm going to be teaching you 5 red flags to be aware of during the sales process to help you avoid getting into business with an unreliable contractor. Now, the first major red flag is not disclosing the full contract terms and the contract price at the point of sale. Now, a lot of the way that solar is being sold today is on a bill swap or on a bill reduction. And basically what that means is the sales representative will present you with a proposal to say, take your existing electric bill, which could be, let's say $400 a month or $500 a month. And they'll say, Mr. Homeowner, we're going to reduce that bill down to $300 a month for you. But oftentimes the sales representatives don't disclose the actual full contract price, the cost of the construction, or the terms of the financing being used to get to that lower monthly payment. So you want to make sure that you ask to see a copy of the full contract, and that if you're going to be financing the solar power system, that you receive a copy of the full financing agreement as well, including the truth in lending disclosures. Now, when we talk about truth in lending disclosures, these are very similar to auto loan or home mortgage financing, where the contractor or whoever's providing the financing for you has to tell you exactly what your cost of the financing is, including any closing costs, what the interest rate would be if you're doing loan financing, and what the total amount of interest paid would be over the entire course of the financing. Now, of course, another thing to watch out for in solar is the dealer fees. And when we talk about dealer fees, basically these are closing costs. These are fees that have to be paid directly to the bank to originate the financing, and that's going to lead to a higher install price. So by the way, if you're in the process of receiving quotes for solar power systems, make sure you ask the contractor to show you the cash price and then what the finance price and the finance terms would be. So at least you have full disclosure and you compare those side by side. Now, right now, dealer fees are higher than they've ever been in the industry before. Some of them can be 20, 30, even up to 40%. And so if your goal is to pay off the system at a more accelerated pace, you may want to avoid taking the solar company's financing if you could get better financing from your local lender or your local bank where you have a relationship. By the way, if you haven't seen our previous video about the solar scammers that were recently jailed in Texas, go back and watch the previous video where we talk about how this particular group of solar sales reps was originating solar loans on behalf of homeowners without disclosing the terms of the agreement to the homeowner, and they were actually electronically forging the homeowner's signature to get the loans initiated. Okay, now the second major red flag is not listing the specific solar equipment to be used on the contract. Now, there are certain solar sales organizations out there that they go about selling solar as if it's a commodity, as if all solar panels are the same, all inverters are the same, or all batteries are the same. And so oftentimes you may have a sales contract that lists a certain capacity of solar. It might say, let's say, an 8 kilowatt system or a 10 kilowatt system, but without actually listing the specific make, model of solar panels or the make and model of the inverters being used. And that basically the contractor would be at their discretion which equipment to actually use to fulfill the contract. Now, I don't recommend getting into any kind of a solar agreement like this. In fact, if you're watching the Solar Surge channel, then you know there are many choices for solar panels, inverters, and batteries, and all of the other equipment that makes up your solar system. So you want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting at the time of sale, because that equipment choice is going to directly impact the functionality and the reliability of your system. In fact, if you're looking at comparing different solar panel options, make sure you watch our top 5 solar panels for 2024, which will give you some of the ideas of some of the brands and some of the capabilities that you should be on the lookout for. By the way, if you've been receiving quotes from solar contractors and you got a quote that didn't disclose the full contract price, the terms, or the equipment, leave a comment down below. We'd like to hear from you. All right, now the third major red flag is a contractor that does not keep an adequate or a specific warranty service reserve. Now, when we talk about a warranty service reserve, this is cash that is set aside at the time of sale or at the time that the project completes in anticipation of future repairs or service work that may need to happen down the road. Now, most solar power systems being offered by contractors today come with a 25-year guarantee. So typically you're getting the installation of the solar equipment, you're getting a 25-year guarantee for any repairs that might be needed, as well as in many cases a power production guarantee. However, not all contractors are financially responsible enough to set aside that cash in anticipation of future warranty service expenses. And so a financially irresponsible contractor may just take the approach of, well, if any repairs are needed down the road, we'll figure that out when we get there. I'm sure we'll be able to find somebody who's free that day and we can send them out to make repairs. Well, the reality of it is if the contractor doesn't manage their money properly, they may not have extra capacity to make those repairs. So identifying the warranty service reserve at the time of sale is one way to make sure that you're dealing with a financially reputable, reliable contractor. And that's a great time to introduce today's video sponsor, Solar Insure. If you're considering installing a solar and battery storage system for your home, then there's no better way to protect your investment than Solar Insure. Solar Insure is the leading solar warranty provider that gives you total system protection for 30 years. The program covers all major system components, including solar panels, racking, inverters, and optimizers. Roof penetrations are also guaranteed for 30 years. And the warranty includes labor, so you're covered even if the contractor who does your initial installation goes out of business. So if you're serious about protecting your solar and storage investment, then tell your contractor you want Solar Insure. Or go directly to the Solar Insure website so you can learn more about the program. Thank you, Solar Insure, for supporting the channel and for sponsoring today's video. Now, the fourth major red flag is if the contractor asks for a large cash down payment. Most established solar contractors should have lines of credit established, trade lines, with the wholesale distributors where they purchase their solar equipment. What I mean is, in other words, they can call their distributor, they can order solar panels, batteries, inverters, have them delivered to the job site for installation, and the contractor shouldn't have to pay that bill for 30 or 60 days after those materials are delivered. So a contractor that asks for a large cash down payment, let's say they ask for a 40% or 50% of the contract as a cash down payment, could be an indication that the contractor's on shaky ground. And instead of using that down payment to purchase materials specifically for your project, oftentimes what a contractor will do, again, if they're on shaky ground, they may use that deposit to finish out another project, close out that project, and then use the proceeds of another project to then initiate your project. All of that works great if the business is growing aggressively, but if you enter a slowdown period like the industry is in right now, then a lot of times those contractors get wiped out because there's less new cash deposits coming in, which means they don't have all the cash they need to finish the work that's currently open and in progress. And then the fifth way that contractors cut corner, or the fifth red flag to avoid, is if the contractor is not willing to provide proof of workers' compensation insurance. Now, when you talk about a solar installation company, this is one of the highest risk categories in terms of labor and workers' compensation insurance. I mean, if you think about it, you've got employees that are working on a rooftop, and they're going up and down a ladder, they're carrying solar panels up and down a ladder, and then on the rooftop, in many cases, they're doing high voltage wiring. So you have the risk of electrical shock or electrocution. You also have the risk of falling off the ladder or falling off the roof. And for that reason, the workers' compensation insurance rates, or the premiums, are very, very high. Now, a contractor that fails to purchase workers' compensation insurance could potentially offer you what looks like a competitive low bid. The problem is, if during the course of the installation, one of the workers is injured on your property, and for whatever reason, if the contractor is not able to pay the medical expenses related to that injury, then the injured employee may be coming after you as the homeowner where the injury took place. So you want to make sure that the contractor is willing to provide proof of insurance, particularly proof of workers' compensation insurance. Now, this has been a discussion of the 5 red flags to avoid, and really all has to do with avoiding that number one mistake, which is hiring the wrong solar contractor. You know, remember folks, when you're purchasing a solar contract, it's not that you're just buying equipment like you might buy off the shelf at a store. you're buying the equipment, you're buying the installation of that equipment, you're buying a warranty repair guarantee for 25 years. In many cases, you're buying a power production guarantee for 25 years. So really what you're buying is, or what you're investing in, is a 25-year relationship with your solar contractor. So make sure that you take that long-term approach. And again, consider bringing in third-party warranty insurance like Solar Insure, so you have that extra layer of protection, so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket with one particular local contracting company. Of course, if you're in the process of looking at different solar and battery storage options for your home, if you need to get an initial quote, or if you have quotes and need to get a comparison quote, as always, you can reach out to us on the link below there, set up a call with a solar expert, or just use our free online quote tool to see how much solar and battery storage costs in your area. As always, if you're getting good value from the videos that you watch on Solar Surge, make sure you give us a thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already. That way, as we have new videos like this, it'll come up on your feed so you can stay up to date with everything. Well, that does it for today's video. I thank you all for spending some more time on the Solar Surge channel. And as always, I'm Joe Ordia here, encouraging you to get prepared and be empowered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.